Approximately 30% of muscle mass can be lost after the age of 60. And the most frightening part is that this begins to happen silently, starting at age 40 without most people noticing. This condition has a name, sarcopenia, and it is behind falls, chronic pain, constant weakness, and even the loss of independence in old age. What few people know is that there is a fruit with real potential to rebuild muscles and halt this process in just 7 days. And we are not talking about a passing trend or a magical solution, but rather a food studied by scientists that could completely change the way the body ages. For decades, it was believed that muscle loss was inevitable. But new discoveries are shattering this belief, revealing that, with the right stimulus, the body can regenerate, even after years of wear and tear. The so-called miracle fruit has impressive properties that act directly on muscle tissues, promoting their recovery and growth. More than a promise, it represents a revolution in the fight against sarcopenia. In this video, you will understand why sarcopenia is one of the most neglected and dangerous diseases today. You will discover how to recognize the early signs that many ignore, which eating habits are accelerating your loss of strength, and how including this specific fruit in your daily routine can deliver results in just 1 week. Stay tuned because topic number 2 reveals a common symptom that might be happening to you right now, and it is a strong warning sign. All the information here is based on serious research and recent studies, providing practical, accessible, and applicable solutions for those who wish to regain muscle vitality. If you feel that your body is slower, tired, or weak, this video could be the turning point you've been missing in your journey toward better health and independence. What is sarcopenia and why it has become a silent epidemic? Sarcopenia is more than just a loss of strength over the years. It represents a silent breakdown of the body that many mistake for natural aging. The problem is that this progressive muscle loss, if ignored, affects not only mobility but also metabolism, balance, and even the immune system. The body begins to show subtle signs, such as struggling to climb stairs or feeling excessive fatigue after minor tasks. But because these signs appear gradually, most people do not realize what is happening. What makes sarcopenia so dangerous is precisely its disguise. While conditions like hypertension or diabetes have clear detection tests, muscle loss can go unnoticed for years. It is an invisible erosion that slowly diminishes physical independence. According to experts, we begin losing muscle mass after the age of 30. And this decline accelerates over time if not addressed. Worse yet, many people think this is normal and do nothing, when in reality, there are effective ways to reverse it. Beyond age, a sedentary lifestyle and poor diet are direct triggers for sarcopenia. People who spend hours sitting, do not engage in regular physical activity, and consume ultra-processed foods are constantly fueling this degenerative process. That is why it is so important to understand that the human body is not programmed to deteriorate rapidly. It just needs the right stimuli to stay strong and functional for much longer. Have you noticed any changes in your body that you thought were just getting older? Any unexpected weakness? Share your thoughts in the comments. When we realize that sarcopenia can be prevented and even reversed, we pave the way for a more active, secure, and independent life. And this journey begins by identifying the early signs, which many still ignore, but which we will address in the next topic. Initial symptoms and signs of sarcopenia that people often ignore. Everything starts with minor discomforts that seem harmless. A simple stumble at home, that difficulty getting up from the sofa, or even the feeling that your legs are weaker when climbing stairs. Many think it's just fatigue or lack of stretching. But these are in fact the first signs of sarcopenia. And when ignored, they quickly progress into loss of balance, frequent falls, and even difficulty carrying light bags. Another frequent symptom that goes unnoticed is the loss of grip strength. That struggle to open a jar lid, hold an object firmly, or even write for a long time may indicate that the muscle tissue is being compromised. The reduction in walking speed is also an important warning. Studies show that this symptom alone can predict higher risks of hospitalization in the elderly. But since these signs appear gradually, it's common for the person to adapt without realizing something is wrong. Additionally, changes in posture, constant joint pain, and feelings of weakness after simple daily activities are also relevant indicators. When the muscle weakens, other parts of the body become overburdened, which can lead to injuries and imbalances. That's why paying attention to these small bodily details is crucial. It's no exaggeration to say that your body is trying to warn you something is wrong. And the sooner you act, the greater the chances of reversing the condition. Before we continue, I'd like to know about your routine. Have you noticed any of these difficulties in your daily life? Comment below. Often, an honest conversation about the body is the starting point for real change. In the next topic, we'll talk about one of the biggest saboteurs of muscle strength, diet. And perhaps you're making this mistake right at breakfast. How diet directly influences muscle weakening. Believe it or not, the strength your body lacks may be linked to what you put on your plate. Diet plays a decisive role in the development and preservation of muscle mass. The problem is that, with the fast-paced routine, many people have been eating automatically, unaware that they are consuming empty calories and inflammatory foods that sabotage their muscles. And what seems like convenience ends up being one of the main factors behind muscle weakening. Diets low in protein and high in refined carbohydrates are a sure path to sarcopenia. White bread, crackers, sugary drinks, processed breakfast cereals. All these foods dominate modern tables and contribute to the loss of lean mass. Muscles need essential amino acids to stay strong, and if they don't come from food, the body simply has nothing to nourish itself. It's like trying to build a house without bricks. Additionally, excessive consumption of processed foods causes silent inflammation that prevents the body from regenerating. Muscles need a healthy metabolic environment to grow, and this is only possible with a diet based on real foods: vegetables, eggs, legumes, fish, whole grains, and antioxidant fruits. A good tip for those who want to start is to add a protein shake after training or include scrambled eggs with spinach for breakfast. Small changes like these already make a difference in just a few days. Have you ever stopped to observe how your diet has been lately? Have you gone a full day without consuming anything high in protein? If so, your body is paying the price. But the good news is that this reality can change quickly, especially with the help of certain functional foods. In the next topic, you will discover what makes the so-called miracle fruit so special and why it is catching the attention of doctors and nutritionists worldwide. What is the miracle fruit, and why is it different from anything ever seen? Simple, small, and often underestimated. The blueberry, also known as bilberry, has been gaining more and more space in muscle health research. Rich in anthocyanins, flavonoids, and antioxidant compounds, this dark blue fruit has shown a direct impact on muscle regeneration, reduced inflammation, and improved physical performance, especially in adults over 40. That is why many experts have referred to it as a true miracle fruit for those who want to overcome sarcopenia. Unlike other common fruits, the blueberry has a unique combination of bioactive compounds that combat oxidative stress, one of the main causes of premature aging of muscle cells. Additionally, its polyphenols stimulate mitochondrial function, promote cellular energy production, and accelerate muscle recovery time after physical exertion. For those already experiencing the first signs of weakness, it can represent a surprising game changer. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology revealed that older adults who consumed blueberries daily for 6 weeks showed significant improvement in lower limb strength and better balance. And the best part, it is a fruit that is easily found, affordable, and versatile. It works well in smoothies, porridges, salads, yogurts, and even as a quick snack. Its slightly sweet flavor is pleasing and makes it easy to include in any type of diet, from breakfast to dinner. Although the blueberry by itself is not a magical solution, when combined with a well-structured diet and correct practices, its effects can be enhanced in a surprising way. In the next topic, you will learn about a 7-day protocol that uses this fruit as a base to stimulate muscle growth naturally and quickly. And the most interesting part is that anyone can start this week, without complications or restrictions. The 7-day blueberry protocol to stimulate muscle growth. Regaining muscle strength in just 7 days may seem bold, but when the right stimulus is applied consistently, the body responds quickly. The blueberry protocol works as a reactivation of muscle metabolism, using the fruit as a strategic nutritional base. The proposal is simple. Incorporate blueberries intelligently at times of the day that enhance their absorption and the utilization of their antioxidants. And the best part, all of this can be done without radically changing your routine. The first step is to consume blueberries first thing in the morning, still on an empty stomach or along with a light protein source, such as unsweetened Greek yogurt or scrambled eggs. This combination activates the digestive system and helps reduce inflammatory markers that affect muscle synthesis. At lunch, a salad with leafy greens, olive oil, and a portion of blueberries complements the antioxidant effect and contributes to pH balance. In the evening, a small portion with oatmeal or kefir aids muscle recovery during sleep. In addition to the fruit, the protocol recommends at least 20 minutes of light physical activity per day, such as brisk walking, functional training, or bodyweight exercises. This mechanical stimulus is what wakes up the muscles and signals the body that it's time to build, not break down. Studies show that combining anti-inflammatory nutrition with daily movement generates an almost immediate response in muscle tone and physical energy, even in sedentary individuals. Could you spare a few minutes a day for this? Because the transformation lies in the details. During these 7 days, it is also important to avoid consuming ultra-processed foods, white sugar, and alcohol, which cancel out the beneficial effects of the protocol. The simplicity of the plan is what makes it so effective. And in the next topic, we will talk about something many people ignore, who should not consume blueberries or needs to be careful before including them in their diet. Are there risks or contraindications? Who should avoid this miracle fruit? Although natural, accessible, and full of benefits, blueberries also require attention in some specific cases. People with a history of allergies to red fruits or sensitivity to certain types of flavonoids should exercise caution. Although rare, there are records of mild allergic reactions, such as itching or intestinal discomfort, especially when the fruit is consumed in excess or in its concentrated form. Therefore, it is always advisable to start with small portions and observe how the body reacts. Another important point involves those who use anticoagulant medications, such as warfarin. Since it is a fruit rich in vitamin K, excessive consumption of blueberries may interfere with the action of these medications. Patients with kidney problems also need guidance, as the fruit contains potassium and in high amounts may pose a risk in cases of advanced kidney failure. In these scenarios, consulting a healthcare professional before including the food in the routine is essential. Additionally, people on extremely restrictive diets or with fructose intolerance should seek individualized nutritional guidance. Even though it is a fruit with a low glycemic index, when combined with other sweet foods or in sugary recipes, it may raise glucose levels. This does not mean blueberries should be avoided, but rather that they need to be strategically incorporated into each person's reality. Eating smartly always surpasses the idea of simply cutting out or overindulging. Had you already heard about these precautions? Many people think that because it's fruit, there are no limits, but even the healthiest foods require balance. And now that all the precautions have been clarified, it's time to reflect on everything that was shown. The body's signals, the diet that weakens, the fruit that strengthens, and the protocol that could transform your week. But the question that remains is, what will be done with this knowledge? Tell us in the comments. What do you plan to change this week after watching this video? Will you start the protocol? Will you review your diet? Your answer may inspire other people who are going through exactly what you're experiencing right now. And more. Share this video with someone in your family who already shows signs of muscle weakness and doesn't even know it has a name, a cause, and a solution. If you want to keep learning how to regain your vitality with practical, natural, and scientifically validated methods, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. There's a lot of content coming that could change the course of your health.